Welcome back. This weekend was quite painful, especially for the people of Niger State and Kano State. From Kano, we had that incident where the athletes from the Gateway Games in Ogun State were heading back home, and sadly, they had an accident. 22 athletes died. But in Niger State, there was a flood disaster. And right now, as we speak, the death toll, so the last count was about 153 persons confirmed dead. I've been joining the program to bring us up to speed as to what happened, what is happening, and what is expected to happen. The Acting Director, Niger State Emergency Management Agency, Dr. Ibrahim Hussaini, joins us from Niger State. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on the program. If you can hear me, sir, good morning. Okay, let's see what we can do to make sure you can. Okay, can you hear me now, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Absolutely fantastic. So just help us bring us up to speed before we go back to what led to this, because there are so many angles to it. What is the situation now? The last time we know about the death toll, it was about 153. Are there additional casualties in that sense? And what do you have as the latest information for us before we deep dive into the conversation?
The figures have not changed, but this morning we are already out trying to get our contact because the distance, the river flows into River Niger. So the people at the downstream of River Niger, we have engaged them, the divers there and the local communities in that within the banks of the river. We've been talking to them, following up on what the situation is. But for now, we have not had any report of any recovery. The numbers still stand at 153. And relief assistance have already been given to them. It's already in process. People are coming in numbers to come and assist the government because the government has declared and also open an account where you can lodge any money or if you have any relief assistance to take. The committee is already in place to receive your relief assistance and document it and also pass it to the affected persons. Because the magnitude is large, the people that are displaced is also large. We have a very big number. So we are calling on all well-meaning Nigerians, individual philanthropists, our international partners to come to the head of the state government because this is a very big situation.
All right. I know that NSEMA, for instance, is in charge of, let's say, when the thing has happened, reacting to incidents in that sense. But from what you gathered, what exactly is the cause? Is it just rainfall? Was there a dam release? Give us all the details that you're aware of as to what led to this. Just a moment. And also tell us whether there were some kind of warning for evacuation in that sense and whether or not people heeded to the call.
All right, it is very surprising. This thing has not happened before, and this is an interland, not a lowland where you have any river very close by. Rivers close to that place that are more than 20 or so kilometers to that environment. So this water just came from a particular environment to that place because that day before the incident, there was torrential rainfall that lasted for hours. So in the morning, the water, there was no flash flooding, there was nothing in that environment. Only for them around 7:30, between 7:30 and 7 and 7:30, they just saw a particular segment of the town. Water just burst in and start moving with alarming speed. That it is difficult for you to even carry anything on top of it. You cannot. It can sweep everything because there are so many tanks, so many things that were swept. So up to now, we are still trying to get where that particular this thing came from, because both downstream and upstream, there is no any river close by within the distance of 20 kilometers to that place. So it is a flash flooding that passed through a channel and then heads to the town and then busted it and then moved down. It affected other houses up, about 5 other communities up, about 3-4 communities up the town, and also about 2 communities down the town. But in those environments, they were not dead. It was only in Mokwa that it entered in the middle of the town and they swept houses and the people and their property away. So it's a flash flooding that came from a far distance, not even within the town. So that was what happened, sir.
Right. So, Dr. Hosseini, there are lots of permutations, because we also need to get some more insights into the possibilities.
Okay.
Some blame or some postulate that this may have been from faraway Kainji. And as you mentioned, the closest is tens or dozens of kilometers away, right? And that's perhaps the northwest to Mokwa. Some have said it's probably Jeba, which is a bit closer, but it's still quite far. And that's what some of these people are saying, that was water released from Kainji? Was water released from Jeba in that sense? And I remember that the NSEMA coordinator, now you are the state, you're in charge of the State Emergency Management Agency, but NSEMA, that's the national, had said some of those homes, the areas are on floodplains. So when you put this together, do you think it supports the thinking that, is this from Kainji? Is this from Jeba?
They are in the flood place because there is a kind of a gully erosion that passed through that place. You get what I'm saying? But the two dams have not started releasing water because they need water now. They are even storing water now before the rains go. So and anytime they want to release water, they get in touch with us, get in touch with the communities downstream, and also get in touch with the leaders for us to warn or pass information to those that are there. And Mokwa has never experienced a thing like this. For the past 20 years, it has never happened. So it is not as a result of that, but I still, from our own angle, it is as a result of torrential rainfall that lasted for hours and the accumulation of different tributaries that burst its way into the river, because it is into the town, because it has never happened. Those that are within the stream, both upstream and downstream of River Niger, of Kainji Dam and Shiroro Dam and Jeba Dam, this committee has never been reported, it's a flash flooding, but it has never reported any flood events whatsoever for the last 20 years. So this, we still believe from our own language that it's a accumulation of flash flooding and the tributaries of minor rivers that burst its way into the town.
It's just mind-boggling to think of, but maybe you can also walk us through the communities affected. So maybe that way we can track the movement. What communities are affected, maybe from the top all the way, because it goes all the way to River Niger. And you've mentioned that some of the rescuers or the responders are now at River Niger to see if they can still get more bodies. So walk us through the communities affected so we can track it in that sense.
We have one Fulani community in very close to Zuguruma there. Then we have Ndayeko, which is about 5 kilometers to Mokwa. From there, you move to Rabah. Rabah is 5 kilometers also down Mokwa. Then from there, you move to some communities like Chiji, and we have some communities. You have Jagi. You have one other communities like that are within the plains that it's down. But it is where we have the severity is in Ndayeko. In Ndayeko, it has about 54 houses that it's affected. In Mokwa, you have over 3,000 people affected, with over 200 houses affected. In Rabadia, you have just five houses that were affected. And that's what the magnitude that it passed through some communities. They were not even aware that it passed, because it passed behind them, and they were not. It never touched anywhere. So they are not even aware that it passes through, because it passed in the night. But the Mokwa events passed in the morning between 7 and 7:30. That was what happened, and it's now flew because they are a bit close to River Niger. So as it's passed through them, it moved to River Niger, and it floods down to the side of Patigi, where you have the confluence of River Kaduna and River Niger.
So just a quick one. Is the flood still on, or has it subsided in that sense?
If you go there now, you'll be surprised. There is no single water except the one that is stored, that was a bit blocked before the railway crossing. But now there is you will not see any sign. You just see the trajectory of its movement, but you will never see any water in those portions again.
Let's talk about some of the intervention that NSEMA is bringing to the table. Your assessment from what you've seen, and you are there, you've seen what is going on. What do the people need urgently, and what is NSEMA doing to cushion the impact of this very painful experience for the people?
What they need very urgently, number one, is shelter. Number two, you have clothing, you have food items, you have clothing. NSEMA has already brought some relief assistance, just a quick intervention, just to push. And what they brought is they brought food items and non-food items, like sleeping materials, and then you have food items. The state government has also responded by providing food items. As we talk, we were having initial problem because this thing happened in a city. So if you don't take article preparation or make your did a serious assessment to profile and then bring out those that are really affected, and you open a camp and you allow people to go, people will continue to come there, and the real target beneficiary will not be met. So what we did in the first 2 days was to do what we call serious profiling to get actually who are the beneficiaries. And we have to go to individual building that was collapsed to get it, because the number we were getting was a different number. This person will come and give another different, this person will come and give another. So we have to go there. Even when we are distributing these materials now, it is with those name of the household and the individuals that are involved. That is the list we are using to do distribution. It has started since day before yesterday, distribution. If, as I talk to you now, we are distributing relief assistance to the people now, and it's continuing. The wife of the governor she's on her way to the scene, and she's also going with relief assistance. So many people are donating, individuals, corporate organizations, societies, and NGOs are bringing in. We have a committee put in place that are the same, receiving this on behalf of it, and they will be given to this.
So Mr. Hosseini, if I may, at least we have the death toll, 153. You say it hasn't changed. I know it's preliminary, but how many houses have so far been counted to have been affected? How many people, perhaps, are you expecting? Just a moment, just a moment. If you can hear me. Yeah, just a moment. In addition to that, I also wanted you to add how many people are you expecting in maybe an IDP camp to be taken care of, at least at the very initial point?
Yes, we have a primary school there that was earmarked as the IDP camps. Yes, but the problem we are having is that most of them prefer to stay with the host community, because it's a one single community. It's not a metropolitan town that you have people like you have a state headquarters, or you have Abuja, or you have so. These are people who are having the same culture, the same language, and the same. So they are interrelated, and based on this, most of them are staying with kind neighbor. So if the conventional camps that were supposed to have, they don't come to the camp, they only come and stay and then go back. So it is difficult for us to track them in the camp, except if we are going there to assistance, we see them. But what we did was that we have their profiling, and anytime we need to get them, we call their leaders and they invite them. So we are still trying to impress on them to come into the camp, so that we have a complete way of taking care of them, and then the decision will be taken on how to provide them, not out of that primary school, how to provide them a temporary shelter or a temporary place where they will be staying. But most of them, as you are aware, they are interrelated, so they prefer to stay with their relatives or their kind neighbors.
So you have painted the picture, but we still hear that there's still a very dire humanitarian situation in that area. I know the federal government delegation visited on Saturday. Lots of promises were made. Even the state government as well, 6,000 bags of rice, you know, the usual things. But as at yesterday morning, you know, speaking to some of them, they said they had not gotten any relief as at yesterday morning, right? And some of these promises were made even before Saturday, because, you know, this happened Wednesday stroke Thursday. So by Friday, it had dawned on the state and the federal government what had happened. So in order to ensure that everyone affected at least feels the presence of government, gets some succor, what exactly are you doing, particularly for those who say they've only heard, but they've not seen anything?
No, that was around Saturday that we got, because when it happens, all attention was geared toward rescuing life, because in every minute, in every hour, 30 minutes, 1 hour, dead bodies will be brought. So everybody's attention was geared towards rescuing people and then recovering dead bodies. But since on Saturday, profiling took place, we started, because when we attempt to distribute the materials in the first place, the people that came, you know, the situation we have in this our country, everybody came and lined up. So we felt the target beneficiaries would not be met. So the best thing we could do was to do what we call profiling of the actual victims, using their locations and the leaders and those people that are affected to identify themselves, because they know who is staying next to who, they know their neighbors. So we have done that, and the relief assistance has been we have started giving them relief assistance. And as I speak to you now, we did that throughout the night up to around 10 o'clock. We stopped, and this morning it has continued. So if you have anybody's number, or you want me to go to that place now and then give you the clip of what we are doing there in terms of relief assistance, you will see. And more donations and more materials have been procured by the state. But the distance is a bit, and then the transport, the road, we also have problem, because before, if we're not using smaller vehicles, you are using trailers, and then there is a particular portion of the town that has a bridge that links between the south and between the south and the north here. It's a major route that this trailer plight. So trailers block these roads because you have to take turn to pass. There is a particular the road has narrowed to a single lane. So the two lanes we are using, they have to take their turn to pass. So it's affecting the traffic. So sometimes trailers spend 2, 3, 4 hours a day to pass through that place. So that is the problem, the challenge we are having. But we are gradually overcoming that. We're finding other alternative route to take this thing to them. As of now, they will never have problem of any shortage of any assistance from the government, because it's coming more on daily basis. We have since 3 days ago, we are moving relief assistance to them.
Still a number of issues to raise with you, and we not just want to situate and put it in context that you are en route Mokwa, and you just stopped over to have this conversation with us, just so you can update Nigerians on what is going on. So we're glad that you're able to just take a moment to give us updates. There are reports online about that particular bridge which you talk about, which is a major transit route, links the north to some of the parts down south. There were reports about it being affected by the flooding. Some even had claimed that part of the bridge was damaged as a result. So maybe just to give us the true picture of that particular bridge, which is a major transit route, as you have said. Is it in order? Has it been damaged? Was it affected by flood? What exactly is the situation with the bridge?
It is seriously affected by flood. In fact, the 2 dead bodies we received that were recovered day before yesterday, so yesterday morning, were under the bridge, because there are debris under the bridge, and then when the bridge was blocked, the channel of the bridge was blocked. You know, water is very strong, and it was running as if there was a machine that was pushing the flood. So it navigate to the other side of the road and broke the road. So we have portion of the road that was seriously damaged, and that is what is causing this commotion we are having in terms of traffic. But we have scavengers there, and then the people from the state Negroma trying to see how they can fix the road.
Because that is that's another major issue. We have goods,
that's another major
food,
it's being addressed.
People traveling on that route. And if that is even delayed for 1 day, you can imagine the ripple effect across the nation in terms of...
It's not even affecting the people of that place, it's affecting the transportation of goods.
Exactly,
from
across...
Lagos, from Lagos to
the north,
and also from the north to the southwest there. So it's a serious problem that needs to be addressed, and the state government, through Ministry of Works, in collaboration with the federal government, they are working assiduously to overcome the challenge.
Absolutely. We're going to let you go in less than 5 minutes, but I want you to speak to lessons learned. What are the lessons learned? Because you said this has never happened before, but you know, from time to time, you develop contingency plans, worst-case scenarios. In other climes, you have drills, you have, alarms. You just have these things you never pray they will happen, but they might happen, understanding the terrain. So what lessons have been learned, and what's the government putting in place to ensure that if this happens in the future, in the coming days, years, months, who knows, we're not caught napping yet again. Not forgetting the travelers who we understand were sleeping in Mokwa Mosque as well. I think that also exacerbated the situation.
Yes, as we are all aware, in this part of the world, let's say in our continent of Africa, we are still grappling with the issue of disaster management, especially climate change. Most of our activities we are still trying to reach a perfection, but for now, we are still far. Let's be realistic ourselves, we are still far behind in terms of trying to manage or trying to reduce the impact of disasters, in terms of trying to put early warnings in place, in terms of trying to build the capacity of the people. And what the state government is doing is working with experts, professionals, to do what you call hazard identification, vulnerability capacity assessment for the whole state, so that we will place what we are doing now is and then because of this climate change and then the environment, especially this deforestation issue we're having new areas that have never been flooded before being flooded now. So we need to brass up to address the challenges. The government is already doing what it can do. As I talk to you now, NSEMA just did their stakeholder engagement to prepare people's mind towards this flood and then put emergency, preparedness and response plans in place. The state government, through NSEMA is organizing its own tomorrow. Though we have done that and castigate and do what we call downscaling. We already have this. We are doing compound meetings in collaboration with UNICEF. So, and then the Ministry of Environment has also installed some gadgets that will give us early warning gadgets in different locations that we'll be working with, and we're also working with the dam authorities to sensitize people and also get actual timely information to people when to release water or when the waters are high and their carrying capacity cannot be able to accommodate them and they need to release. So we are working that and working with also the local communities, because sometimes most people are already, as far as the asset is concerned, most people are already aware that this flooding has come to stay because of our location. We have two major dams crisscrossing the state with other tributaries, River Niger and River Kaduna, with other tributaries, and they are big rivers. So people are already aware because of this, our sensitization year in, year out. But what we are battling with now is attitudinal change. You will talk to people to leave. Some of them will say this is a serious ground, and also the permanent solution to this situation is resettlement. You know what it means to reset people out of where they are staying. You know what it means. So it's capital intensive, but it's a gradual process. The federal government is just awarded.
Just before we let you go, so would you say this took the people or the area by surprise?
The flooding, it came because
please.
It has never happened before. It came because it has never happened in that environment. If it were to be people downstream that we have been taught, that have been used to flood, you would have said that. But Mokwa for the past 20 years has never experienced this. Not in this kind of. It's only flash flood that they experience that will just come, enter some people out, and then the next thing is gone. But it has never happened for the past 20 years, as far as I'm concerned, because I've been working in the disaster management for the past 20 years, and we've been managing flood situation. Mokwa has never been a major issue in terms of flooding flood in the state. We only have gully erosions that causes flash flooding sometimes, and the flood enter people's house and they move, but not claiming lives like this.
Quite a very sad and worrying situation. I must thank you for stopping by to ensure that you have this conversation with us. And please do also give us update as soon as you get there, when you get to the location. Dr. Ibrahim Hussaini, Acting Director, Niger State Emergency Management Agency, joining us from Niger State for this conversation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we will switch gears now to talk about issues around accountability in governance, especially a recruitment process. Now, all the political gladiators are gearing up, whether in the ruling or opposition, and everybody's already talking about 2027, and we're in 2025. So you too need to be ready as well, and that's why we're having the conversation. Join us again.